Mark Carney is back in Canada, and oh boy, is he being raked over the coals by the opposition, and rightfully so, because he is selling Canada up the river faster than Trudeau ever could. He basically said, Mr. Trudeau, hold my beer, hold my weed, hold my everything Canadian, and watch me just take this country from shit show to clusterfuck. And I have two examples today for you. We have a short video from a Canadian news source, and we also have a bit of question period from yesterday. I'm going to show you both Pierre Poilievre and Monsieur Leblanc's interactions with Mark Carney. I do apologize for the translator. She is better than the other female, but she still is having trouble with Monsieur Leblanc's colloquialisms, let's say. So she does stumble a bit, and it does take a little bit away from what he says. But I think it's important for me to showcase both the opposition leaders' problems with this after I show you this piece of news media. So let's take a quick gander here. We've got the screen share up, and we are going to watch this now.
Because I want to be a great man too.
They laughed together, buttered each other up, spent time talking trade. But for all that, President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Mark Carney had no deals and no breakthroughs to announce.
Which is that's basically all it was a circle jerk. That's all it was, and that's what the meeting in May was too. It was basically Mark Carney showing up, sucking Trump off, giving Trump everything, and getting nothing in return. It's basically a masochistic prostitute showing up, getting absolutely obliterated by her John, not getting paid, in fact giving him some of her money that she earned earlier that night, and then going, "Thank you, sir, I'll be back later." That's basically what Carney just did.
Rien, nada.
And that's where the opposition picked up the next day. The Bloc Québécois leader said the truth is the Prime Minister came back empty-handed with nothing at all.
Now those Elmos have come down. The American tariffs have doubled. We have by far the weakest economy in the G7.
Carney deflected the criticism.
We have the best deal with the Americans. And the third thing that's true is we will get an even better deal.
One of those.
I'm going to say this now so that I don't have to say it when I show you question period. Why is it that whenever Carney is called out and he gets angry, he goes into robot mode? Do you ever notice that? He stops all vocal inflection. He just starts yelling in a monotone. And, I'm reminded, I know everything to me goes back to TV, but I'm reminded of when the Simpsons go to Blocko Land and Homer does the "I am a robot, do what I say" thing. It's just, seriously.
Those sitting in on Monday's White House meeting was U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. Wednesday, Lutnick gave closed-door remarks at a conference in Toronto where he took what a source described to Global News as, quote, an aggressive stance towards Canada's auto industry, end quote. That Lutnick's message was, quote, America first, Canada second. Ontario's Premier Doug Ford was in the room at the time and outside told reporters it was the clearest indication yet that the Trump administration wants to repatriate all of Canada's car assembly operations.
Which doesn't make any sense because we were able to grow our separate car industries at the same time. Why does Trump need all of the auto everything to be done in his country? Does he... I just, is he gonna be willing to pay the American labor rate? Like, just to, like, I don't, like, seriously, we think cars and phones and shit are expensive now. You want to pay the labor rate for Western people to make, like, holy fuck.
I would say it's a massive threat when you have the Secretary of Commerce coming out and saying that, and the President. You'd only say it if the President gave him the green light. So we have to be prepared.
Ford is calling on Carney to hit back with more retaliatory tariffs, something conservatives in Ottawa support.
Well, that's because we shouldn't have rescinded our tariffs in the first place. We had counter tariffs in place. And then Carney basically rolled over and rescinded them. And he's now, let's see, he will be coming up on 3 months past the deadline that he gave himself to have a deal with Trump on this whole thing. He gave himself July 21st as his deadline, and it is October 9th.
Today we learned that he's backing down again on auto tariffs. Why is it that he's selling out our auto workers at a time when they need him most?
What we have at this point with the United States for the auto sector is the lowest tariff in the world, less than 10%, less than 10%, lower than Europe, lower than Korea, lower than Japan. We have the lowest tariff, and we are still negotiating.
Saying it over and over again doesn't make it true, Mr. Carney. I do apologize for busting that bubble, but you can say it as many times and as robotically as you wish, but it does not make it true.
One final note, Donna. We have been told by government sources that Carney suggested to Trump that it would be a good idea to restart the twice-canceled Keystone XL oil pipeline project and use Canadian steel to finish it. Now, few details beyond that were provided, and Keystone's owner, South Bow of Calgary, said in a statement it is not aware of the discussions between Carney and Trump, but it does support efforts to find ways to increase the transport of Canadian crude to the market.
Well, of course it does. Why would Keystone be against that? That would be stupid of them to be like, no, let's not do that. Of course they would be open to that. But if, like, Keystone's like, that's news to me. I didn't know that he said that. Okay, cool. Like, this is insane. Carney is just pulling shit out of his ass. He has no idea what he's doing. Like, I'm sorry, private sector business deals and political, like, to and fro and banter and all of that are not the same thing. They are really not. And I don't understand why Mr. Carney thinks that he is capable of doing this job, because he has had no experience. He has been out of Canada doing other things for decades, while Mr. Poilievre has been in the country doing, like, actual things to better the country. And yet Poilievre is the racist guy who wants to destroy us. Meanwhile, Carney doesn't even understand which guns he's banning. Like, what the hell is going on? So now, that was a global news piece. I just want to quickly go over the back and forth between Poilievre and Carney to show you more of what global news didn't, because they picked not the best clips to show. So let's just go through it here.
Honorable Leader of the Opposition.
Well, we now know why the U.S. president wanted this prime minister in power so badly. A weak leader whose high taxes and anti-development laws are sending billions of dollars and thousands of jobs out of this country.
Oh, the Liberals are angry that he called him a weak leader. Well, I'm sorry, but even Trudeau had more of a backbone when it came to Trump than this asshole. And I hate saying that, because Trudeau really pissed me off as a prime minister. So if the fact that we can say that Trudeau actually had more of a spine when it came to dealing with Trump, that is sad. Because Trudeau has no spine.
36,000 jobs lost. And yesterday, the Prime Minister promised the President that he would increase Canadian investment in the U.S. by $1 trillion if he gets the agreement that he expects to get. Mr. Speaker, in exchange for $1 trillion of job losses in Canada, will he at least get an end to the U.S. auto tariffs that are killing jobs for our workers in Ontario?
Yeah, it's a negative.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we have the best deal in the world with the Americans. First point. Second point, the President of the United States and myself had a meeting of minds yesterday with respect to the future of the steel sector.
Is that what you call that? A meeting of the minds? Really? That's okay. That looked more like a dog rolling over under a much larger dog's intimidating presence and showing that dog his belly. That's what it looked like from here. But hey, that's just me.
The aluminum sector, the energy sector in cooperation, which is why our teams are negotiating the terms of those deals. And we are working, as the President himself said in the Oval Office, on the modalities of an auto agreement.
On the modalities of an auto agreement. What the fuck was that? Do you even know what words you're saying when you say them? Like, I know you don't when you're speaking French, but I'm starting to think you also don't understand what you say when you speak English. I really am starting to get that feeling that Carney just doesn't understand what words mean. I really, that's what I'm feeling.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, he just confirmed he's selling out our auto workers. And let me tell him what it means when investment leaves this country. Because he was forced a record amount out in his 7 months in power.
He really has.
The 700 workers at the GM plant who lost their jobs in Oshawa, they can tell him about investment that is left. They're sitting around the dinner table wondering how they're going to pay their bills while GM announces $4 billion of new investment south of the border. So while the Prime Minister promises yet another $1 trillion gift to President Trump, why doesn't he look them at those workers in the eye and explain to them why he betrayed them?
That's a valid question. Because the GM plant and the... We've had a Chrysler plant, we've had a GM plant, we've had, like, this is bad. This is really, really bad. Like, I think the only thing that might save part of southern Ontario, at least, is the fact that there's a frickin' Toyota plant in the Tri-Cities area. So, like, at least there's still the Toyota plant, but we still have a lot more auto plants to lose, and those come with not just putting cars together, but making the chips that go into the computers for the cars, making the tires that go on the cars, this is not a good, this is fucking terrible. And for somebody whose thesis was in economics, it's terrifying that Mr. Carney doesn't see all of this. Surprise, wardrobe change. So where we left off, Mr. Poilievre was asking Mr. Carney why he, or if he will look the auto workers in the eye and tell them why he betrayed them. Let's see what Robo Prime Minister has to say.
Here. The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, what this government is doing for the auto sector is an unprecedented investment in the Canadian auto sector. We look the Canadian auto workers in the eye. We have $5 billion in the Strategic Response Fund. We have $10 billion for liquidity management. We have worker retraining.
Worker retraining? I missed that when I was watching it live. He actually said we have worker retraining.
$10 billion for liquidity management. We have worker retraining.
He went Elmer Fudd for a minute. And also, if you're supporting the auto industry so well, why are we needing to retrain workers into different fields? That seems slightly counterproductive to me.
We are striking deals with countries around the world. We have the best deal already with the Americans, and it will be even better.
Okay.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Well, Mr. Speaker, we'll go soft on him today because I know he's still recovering from surgery to have his elbows removed.
I know that's not at all what he wanted to say. He did not want to say elbows. That is not what he wanted to say.
Remember that promise, Mr. Speaker? Dancing around with his elbows in the air. We haven't seen those elbows since the election, after which $54 billion of investment gone to the United States.
True.
86,000 jobs gone. American tariffs on Canada doubled. And as to the best deal in the world, why is it then, if we have the best deal, that Canada has the fastest shrinking economy in the G7 and 86,000 people are without a job?
Oh, those are just inconvenient facts, though, Mr. Polyev. Those don't matter. Those are inconvenient truths. We like to ignore those here in Parliament.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Okay. All right. Mr. Speaker.
Okay, all right, okay, you got me. That's what it sounded like. Listen.
Okay. All right.
See? Okay, all right. Okay. I'll admit
Mr.
it.
Mr. Speaker, there are three things that are true. First is, I realized long before the Leader of the Opposition, long before the last election, you remember the last election? Long before the last election, that our relationship with the United States would never again be what it was. Secondly, thing that is true is we have the best deal with the Americans. And the third thing that's true is we will get an even better deal because
Yeah, he went with full robot mode there. And also, yes, we remember the last election, and we are now recalling all the promises you made and are not keeping.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Canadians do remember the last election where that Prime Minister promised to put elbows up. It was not a promise, it was the promise that he ran on.
I love how the Liberals are all just like, you lost! Yes, well, guess what? He also won. By a fucking landslide. So shut the fuck up, he's back.
Now those elbows have come down, the American tariffs have doubled, we have by far the weakest economy in the G7, 86,000 people have lost their jobs, and the Prime Minister went pathetically to the White House to offer a $1 trillion gift, bowing before the President in weakness. $1 trillion, Mr. Speaker. Speaking of the last election, where in his platform did he promise to give $1 trillion of our investment dollars to the Americans?
That is a valid question, because I remember watching all the platforms being released, and I do not recall Mr. Carney saying in any of his platform speeches that he would be giving that money to the states.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to inform the Leader of the Opposition that there is a thing called the private sector. The private sector makes decisions about investment. The private sector.
Oh my god, the fucking sycophants. I would like to remind the Leader of the Opposition that there is such a thing as the private sector. Yeah, he knows, dumbass. He called you out for being part of the private sector, dumbass. The private sector makes decisions on investment? No, not all decisions. We are not a fucking country run by the private sector. Or did you just let that slip, sir? Did you just pull back the curtain by accident and be like, hey, guess who makes all the decisions about Canadian spending? Private investors. Oh my God, Mr. Carney said the quiet part out loud. No, Carney, no. Wow, he said the quiet part out loud. Oh my God. Oh my God. And how could nobody pick up on that? Oh wait, because his leader or his party started cheering, almost as if they were like, "Yay, Carney!" but also shut up. Like that's what that sounded like. That cheer and shit. That sounded like, quick, let's be as loud as we can to cover up what he just said. Holy fuck, I can't believe I just caught that. Wow. Okay. That's a beautiful spot. I like that. I like showing the light of stupidity. Oh, this is gorgeous. I hope other people see this and pick up on it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Did he just pull a whoopsie? Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.